of us really want to think about it, but unless Yeshua returns in the very near future, it could be that some of us are going to pass away. Or we're just going to lay down our lives and slip out of this realm into the next. Or go kicking and screaming, scratching for every breath of life we can get. Hi, this is Barry Phillips, a 10-minute Torah, day number 1 of the Torah portion of Vayelech. So let's go to Devarim, chapter number 31, and read a few verses. And Moshe went and spoke these words to all Israel, and he said to them, I am 120 years old today. I am no longer able to go out and come in. And Yahweh has said to me, you do not pass over this Jordan. Yahweh your Elohim himself is passing over before you. He shall destroy these nations before you, and you possess them. Yehoshua himself is passing over before you, as Yahweh has spoken. Now, Moshe wasn't dying. He was going to die. He wasn't sick. He wasn't frail. He wasn't gasping for breath. He simply knew, today, I'm passing from this physical realm to the next realm. He knew that he was about to die, but again, he was not going to die from dying, if that makes any sense. The Stone edition of Chumash says that in regards to some of the deeper writings of the rabbinical minds, quote, the most holy and righteous people are sensitive to spirituality and are able to tell when the soul begins to ebb away from the body, unquote. And I tend to agree with that. I believe that can be true. I know in the case of my own father, my dad, when he was passing a couple of years ago, he died suddenly, unexpectedly, not from any known sickness that we knew that he had. By official records, he would have died in a car wreck. I think he was gone before the car ever crashed. But my mom would tell you that she would find him talking in his chair in a room by himself. He would say he was praying. She thought he might be talking otherwise. In other words, he was already beginning to see, as some dear friends of mine say, looking through the veil, understanding that the spiritual realm was much closer, much more apparent than what we had previously known. In other words, the spiritual part of us begins to sense the greater reality of the spiritual realm, and we're transitioning. Death is coming for the physical body, but the one who lives on the inside is yet to live. Yeshua says that he is the resurrection and life, and though the body dies, yet we shall live. This is a mystery for us, unless we have been there, and for most of those who say they have, you kind of question the legitimacy of their storyline. I think it's a very rare occasion that one slips over and then is permitted to come back. Yah just does not make mistakes about when we should die. So therefore, Moshe is in a situation where he knows that the end of his days have come and he is saying his last words. We know that from chapter 34, as we will begin to read that a little later on, it says there that it was not because of a physical malady that he died. That though he was 120 years old, his eyes were not dimmed, his freshness had not departed from him. Matter of fact, he climbed a mountain. One of the last things he did, he climbed Mount Nebo, and then he was permitted to stand on the top of that mountain and gaze the horizon of out of the land of inheritance from a distance. And no, he didn't die from a heart attack from climbing the mountain. This tells me a couple things. That even in a wilderness setting, even in a rugged environment, the presence of Yah that Moshe had been accustomed to dwelling in, climbing mountains to be in the presence of the Most High, going out to the tent and dwelling in the intensity of Yah's presence, oftentimes only separated from the very actual appearance of Yah, whatever that might be, by a veil of smoke or a veil of a cloud, a vapor. He heard the very audible words of Yah and came back and spoke verbatim. This is what Yah said. The presence of Yah has strength in it for us. Dwelling in the presence of the Most High rejuvenates us, refreshes us, renews us. Romans chapter 4 describes how that Abraham and Sarah were youthened, not aged. Is there such a word as youthened? They were given fresh youth appeal by their beliefs, so much so that bodies that were beyond reproductive age and potential reversed course and went back into a youthfulness that brought about the birth of Yitzhak. Consider that Sarah, just prior to giving birth to Yitzhak, though she was in her 90s, about 90 years of age, she was youthful and beautiful enough that Abimelech wanted her for his wife and to be included in his harem. Something very strange was going on according to the realm of the flesh. Moshe says, I am not able to cross this Jordan, this Yarden. He says, I can no more go out, nor can I come in. Now, what is he talking about? If he's not physically handicapped, what is he talking about? The phrase, when you go out, we just saw this previously in Kitetse, where it talks about when you go out, as is going out into warfare. And then the understanding of I am not able to come in, that is, I am not able to come in with you into the land of inheritance. So I am no longer available to you to go out and lead you in warfare. And I'm not permitted to cross the Jordan and go with you into the land. My usefulness here in this life is complete. Now, we might would say, well, I'm all used up. That's not what he is saying. Well, I'm all worn out. That's not what he's saying either. He is recognizing the job that I was sent to this earth to do, I have completed it. As Rav Shaul also says, I have I run my course, I have finished my course, I've run the race, and I have kept the faith. He's been faithful. He says, now there's laid up for me a crown of righteousness. I know that I've done what I'm supposed to do. If you and I learn anything from Moshe, understand and remember 40 years in Pharaoh's palace. You would think he was spinning his wheels, but he was learning administration. He was learning leadership. 40 years working for his father-in-law, Yitro. He was learning, again, management, this time of sheep. Sheep can teach you a lot about people, but he's also learning servanthood and humility and brokenness. And then 40 years leading Am Yisrael. Never underestimate the stages of your life. And the goal is that when you finish, that you finish well. It's not how you start, it's how you finish that's important. Finish well. complete the course, stay the course, and when your time is up, may Yah slip us away into his presence. More on this tomorrow. Until then, shalom.